All right, thank you, Talu, for that. You guys had a very interesting, conversation with Mr. Chitangala. But another interesting convo that we should have had on that was on Monday or Tuesday, Tuesday actually,
yeah.
with Dr. Ruben Lembani, who is an environmentalist and of course a serious opposer of the Lower Zambezi mining project. We have him back on Skype, and hopefully this time around we'll get to finish off our conversation. Good morning, Dr. Lembani. Hello, good morning, Doc.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we can't seem to hear him, but anyway, he can hear us. Dr. Lembani, if you can...
Well, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
No, we can hear
worried.
you now. We're worried. I was like, oh, no, not today again. Good to have you, Doc.
I'm very okay. How are you, Yoela and Talu?
No, we're fine. We're fine,
good.
Doc. We're fine. Doc, I know I can't even remember at what point we finished or we ended our discussion on Tuesday, but I guess we can just start from the top, and we ask you what your views are around the proposed project and the effects to other countries, because this is something that most people actually don't know, that we might have a serious complication with our neighboring countries with regards to Lower Zambezi mining project.
I heard people using geopolitical.
I use that word.
Yeah.
I just want it to sound smart, but it's a very geopolitical tensions.
Please go ahead, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you for reconnecting. So issues of the environment, they've actually moved a step higher. Now operate at the highest level of inclusivity. So this means that for any approvals can be done, there must be consideration and cooperation between intergenerational as well as intragenerational. You have to consider, the views and the interests of the current generation as well as that of the unborn. So what we are trying to say is we have these international agreements, for instance, the Convention on the Protection and Use of Transboundary Watercourses and Intercourses. So this is a UN convention that dictates that for any project, before it can take forth, there must be ethical consideration and cooperation between all the benefiting parties. By extension, what we mean is, since Zambezi River and the whole Zambezi area there, it benefits not only Zambia, but also our neighboring countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, what we call the downstream countries. So whatever pollution, whatever damage happens on the Zambian side, it can affect these other countries. It can affect their cultural things of cultural importance. It can also affect the ecological integrity of their ecosystems. And this could be a recipe for regional conflicts. One example we can cite probably is that one of Egypt and Ethiopia. Probably, if you did a bit of research, you will know that Ethiopia has built a very huge hydropower plant on their side. They've built it on their side, but it has affected the quality or the integrity of the water that reaches into Egypt as well as that. And this has actually these three countries at standoff, with potential for it. What I mean by potential of regional conflicts. Yes, so what we are saying is issues of the environment and approvals of any development move a step higher. Now operate at the highest level of inclusivity. So that's where we are.
All right. So obviously, I've seen so many sentiments around Zema's role in all of this, while others are coming out to say Zema is contradicting itself as an institution, association. 1 minute they are for they're against, rather. 1 minute they're against this mine, the next minute they are for it. I've also heard that other than them contradicting themselves, they've been giving out, well, I wouldn't what can I say, a checklist of some sort. And that's where the first, naysay came from with regards to Zema. They said if you meet these standards, then you can go ahead. And unfortunately, the list was far too long, and the list keeps on dropping and dropping. And I don't know, what is going on? What's your understanding from their position?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think we need to understand the fact that in 2014, Zema rejected, the environmental impact statement that from the developers that they want to proceed with the mining project. And I think we have to applaud Zema for their tenacity, to rely on their professional, information to make such a decision. Not until when they were, they started receiving external influence, to actually back down or change their decision. So if we are to stand by the initial and independent decision of Zema, of which we have to applaud them, I think this project should not, start. It's a non-starter because without the external influence of the powers that may be, we all know the position of Zema. For that, this project is non-starter. And by the way, you're well, you know that the region of the lower Zambezi is very prone to moderate earthquakes. And this information is sitting by the meteorological department. And the environmental impact assessment that was done did not cover this aspect.
Wow.
So these moderate earthquakes happen as a result of downward and upward, vibration of the river. And as a result, a bit of turbulence. So now the question is, how will the mine contain the storage facility, given that they do experience these moderate earthquakes? We are talking of massive spillages, a lot of pollution, which, certain political figures are saying that we have technology, that can contain, this type of. The $1 million question is, where haven't we seen, where haven't they showcased this technology on the Road province?
Yeah.
A region with massive negative environmental.
I'm worried.
So Dr. Lembani, that's actually, I didn't know. And that's why I actually appreciate having you on the show right now, because I don't think the majority of Zambians know that point with regards to earthquakes. I had no idea. Now, I want to ask a question as we are winding up, Doc. Let's imagine both sides. So one side, if the mining activity actually does go on, what repercussions? I know you've mentioned of a possible conflict and all that with our neighboring countries, but what are the major repercussions should the mine be allowed to go on one side? And if on the other side, it's now said, because of so many points brought forward, the mine won't go ahead. How can we avoid such reoccurrences with regards potential resources that are under the ground that may be in areas that are, as sensitive as well as Zambezi?
And as you answer that, Doctor, I want to go back slightly to Zema, and if they're being influenced, there's certain things that remain grounded and rooted. You cannot do certain things if you know it's going to have very bad environmental or ecological impact on the people around, not just in Zambia, but the neighboring countries. We have signed MOUs, we have signed agreements that have to do with protecting our wildlife, our environment. How is it possible that they can get away with allowing something that's incorrect if they have all those people they're answerable to?
Yeah, thank you so much. And our appeal as advocates for sustainable development is for Zema to be more, continue being brave and stand on their professional opinion on why the mining in the lower Zambezi. What we need to highlight probably is that section number 4 of the Environmental Management Act provides for right, clean, safe, and healthy environment, which Zema is. And the fact that this can be overruled, it overruled by powers. That maybe indicates the weakness of this statute. And there's need for us to strengthen this as a country. Probably trying to clean out the provision of the law that gives power to the minister to overrule the decision of SEMA. Or alternatively, move this section, of the Act into the Bill of Rights, into the Constitution, so that whatever decision that may come from the minister or any other individuals will be now and void, because that sitting in the Constitution will make it more supreme than that of the minister. So this is where we are. We can only appeal, to Zema to continue being brave and do the right thing.
Right. So what next, Dr. Lembani, as you conclude? Where are we now? Because I know there's different sides of this issue with regards to the mine. From your point of view, what next? How much work do you think you need to do as Dr. Lembani and other, stakeholders?
Yeah, what we need to do is, I always refer to the Indian, parable, which talks about the 5 blind men and an elephant. And, I can see Talu is smiling. She knows, you have one blind man who's touching the horns, the other one the belly, the other one is by the tail, and they are told to describe what they are touching, And the importance of that one is that need to allow professionals who are mandated for a specific job to carry their. So in this case, let the politicians move out of this case and allow Zema to make an independent and professional decision on this case. And we all know the decision that will be expected from Zema. I to create that, but let's give them justice.
Well said, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Doctor?
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good morning and have a good weekend, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So that was Dr. Ruben Lembani coming through. And I didn't know, he just brought up something.
Every time we talk about Law Zambezi Yowela,
we get to know something. And you said it yesterday, like every day, something new comes up. Anyway. Yeah,
let's head over to Billy on the news desk for the 8 o'clock news update. On the other side, we have Paul C. Zambia.
Paul C.
Hey! Stay tuned.